Well, good morning, YouTubers and Kryptonians. This is Crypto Big Boss coming to you again with another exciting video. 23rd of June, 2021. You know, we had that flash crash back in May, and I said that the market would come back, and I stand by that. And oh, by the way, here we go again. A little flash crash in June. And let's think about this. The first flash crash took us down to somewhere around, I want to say, maybe a $40,000 Bitcoin. Now we have this flash crash, and it takes us down to about a $30,000 Bitcoin. But I wanted to concentrate on this article that's on CNBC talking about how China's renewed crypto crackdown wiped out $400 billion worth of what this asset is worth off of the market. And I want to weigh in on it. So let's dig in. Since China's renewed crackdown on cryptocurrency industry has wiped off around $400 billion in value off of the digital currency market since Friday. It's Friday last week. Okay, Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP and other digital coins fell sharply on Friday. Authorities in China, Saskatchewan province, ordered cryptocurrency miners to shut down their operations. And the People's Bank of China argued financial institutions not to provide services related to cryptocurrencies. Can you believe this? China cracking down to the point saying that they want their financial institutions to not provide services related to cryptocurrencies, while we've got El Salvador adopting cryptocurrency, adopting Bitcoin as their actual national currency. Let's keep going. China's crackdown wipes off $300 billion in market value. China's renewed crackdown industries at $300 billion, $400 billion. Who's counting? In value from the digital currency market since Friday, and Bitcoin was down more than 8% in the last 24 hours. And as you know, we're currently looking at a Bitcoin that is just about around, I want to say, around $29,000. Let's check that real quick and make sure we got that right. Okay, yeah, Bitcoin is sitting aptly. It's back up to around 32,000. All right. So it says over the past few days, China has stepped up its efforts to rein in the country's cryptocurrency industry, and then they have a mining ban. Let's listen to a little bit of this video.
Morning, Martin. Well, yes, the People's Bank of China speaking to the likes of Alipay as well as major Chinese banks like ICBC, warning them not to provide cryptocurrency services to any of their customers. The People's Bank of China warning once again about the speculative nature of cryptocurrencies, warning about the potential money laundering, illegal asset transfers as well, and how that could hurt financial stability. The People's Bank of China told these financial institutions that they can't provide services such as trading or clearing or account openings, and asked them to block transactions that are involved in cryptocurrency as well.
This sounds like an all-out assault on crypto as a technology. This sounds like the kind of stuff that Warren Buffett was saying. Let's keep listening.
Alipay came out after that warning and said that it will intensify its crackdown and strike against virtual currency transactions with measures including banning and blacklisting accounts that are involved in any of these transactions. Now, there's a few important things to note here. Firstly, these are not necessarily broadly new rules. People's Bank of China has been taking a pretty hard line.
Listen at that. These are not completely new rules. I've said this in previous videos. China has done this before. They do it every 4 years. It's almost as in sync with the Bitcoin halving. Okay, we had a halving in 2020, and here they come up banning cryptocurrency in 2021 again. Okay, cracking down. We had a halving in 2016, and then they came up banning cryptocurrency in 2017. Let's keep listening.
Cryptocurrencies in China since about 2016, 2017. Local exchanges have been banned, and these banks shouldn't be providing these services at this point. But what you are seeing is this top-down order coming now to intensify that crackdown on any of these services. Now, one important point that PBOC is trying to achieve here is trying to cut off one of the routes that Chinese traders use at this point to trade cryptocurrencies. In 2017, authorities actually banned local cryptocurrency exchanges in China. Many of them moved offshore. And so for Chinese traders to actually trade in Bitcoin and other of these coins, they need to move their money outside onto offshore exchanges. One of the routes for that was the likes of Alipay and banks as well. So the PBOC really trying to cut down that route for trading at this point. And clearly you're seeing the impact on with that and with that crackdown on mining you mentioned earlier, Martin, as well. Bitcoin price sliding pretty sharply this morning, down about 11%. Back to you.
Now, what I want to bring your attention to is something that happened in the past. Okay, we have a disruptive technology, okay, that has come now, and the government is the enemy of innovation. I'm going to say it again. The government is the enemy of innovation. And here we have the Chinese government cracking down on people, their own people, who are likening and embracing and taking advantage of the newest innovation, and they're using the same old diatribes out here talking about that these coins could be used for nefarious purposes. Well, guess what? So can cash money. So can gold. So can the Chinese yuan. Criminals have been using fiat currency for years. So that doesn't tread water. Okay? The truth of the matter is that they don't want to see their actual national currency devaluated. Okay? So now we see why not just the institutional investors' movements of getting in and out is causing the markets to fluctuate, but the governments themselves. So what I like to do at this point is take a moment to show you a little something else before we go back to this. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to something called the War of the Currents. What was the War of the Currents? Let's talk about that. The War of the Currents, sometimes called the Battle of the Currents, was a series of events surrounding the induction of competing electrical power transmission systems in the late 1880s and the early 1890s. It grew out of two lighting systems developed in the late 1870s and the early 1880s. Arc lamp street light running on high voltage alternating current, and large scale low voltage direct current indoor incandescent lighting, being marketed by Thomas Edison. In 1886, the Edison system was faced with new competition, an alternating current system developed by George Westinghouse Company that used transformers to step down from a high voltage so AC could be used for indoor lighting. I'm going somewhere with this, folks. Using high voltage allowed an AC system to transmit power over longer distances and more efficient large central generating stations. And as the use of AC spread rapidly, the Edison Electric Light Company claimed in early 1888 that high voltage used in alternating current systems were hazardous and that the design was inferior to an infringed on the and it infringed on the patents behind the direct current system. And in the spring of 1888, a media furor rose over electrical fatalities caused by pole-mounted high-voltage AC lines, attributed to the greed and callousness of the arc lighting companies that used them. And in June of that year, Harold P. Brown, a New York electrical engineer, claimed that AC-based lighting companies were putting the public at risk using high-voltage systems installed in a slipshod manner. Brown also claimed that the alternating current was more dangerous than direct current, and tried to prove this by publicly killing animals with both currents, with technical assistance from Edison Electric. The Edison Company and Brown colluded further in the parallel goals to limit the use of AC, with attempts to push through legislation to severely limit AC installations and voltages. Both also colluded with Westinghouse's chief AC rival, the Thomas Houston Electric Company, to make sure that the first electric chair, hear this, was powered by Westinghouse AC generators. Now, you might be asking what this has to do with Bitcoin technology. You see, like Bitcoin, alternating current electrical power was a disruptive technology. It threatened DC current as a whole. The United States of America had entire cities, in fact, powered by DC current. Patents and the government. Okay, we have big time corporation here. Thomas, Edison's electric light company is in league with literally with the government. Patents and money were all pooled into this, and they didn't want to see AC current come in and tear up their wheelhouse, upset their apple cart. They didn't want to see a superior technology come along. How many times have we heard this? Superior technologies like, they said there would never be electric cars. Now all of a sudden you turn around and we've got 4 different companies at least trying to make electric cars that we will have on the highways and byways. Could it be that they just wanted to make sure that they had all the electric power under their control so that they could sit up there and benefit from it, profit from it? Could it be that because Thomas Edison didn't have the patents on AC current and he couldn't profit from it, that he didn't want to acknowledge a superior technology? Could it be that Bitcoin is a superior technology and blockchain technology is a superior technology to how we store data and information today? And these folks out here want to maintain their stranglehold on their technology and basically make the people utilize what they have so they can continue to sell their database, so they can continue to make money from printing on paper, so they can continue to control how much wealth people have because they own the infrastructure. They literally own what it takes to make money. They print the money. They control the interest rates, the governments. They control what you can borrow and what you can lend. They track it, they tax it. And now they don't want to lose control because we have a disruptive technology that goes against every single thread of that. They have no control whatsoever over how Bitcoins are created, how they're levied. And so their only thing they can do to control it is to literally come in and tax it, right, Mr. Biden? The only thing you guys can do to control it is to stop these Chinese companies from, and the people over there from using their entrepreneurial spirit and make it illegal. A disruptive technology has come and destroyed the de facto standard of fiat currency. But we already know how the story ends, don't we, folks? Someone said there would never be a way to communicate across the United States, and here we had radio waves, and we still have radio. They said that we wouldn't have alternating current to light the lights, and then when the war of the currents finished, Mr. Edison, we love him, and we have nice pictures of him as a businessman, okay, and his company. But alternating current is in every house across the United States and in every freaking office space and business. And I'm afraid that digital currency and blockchain technology will rise above this ridiculous impedance by the governments of the world, because it has no competition. They're just stalling and trying to figure out how do they get control of it. What is all this really about? What it's about is a $30,000 or $32,000 Bitcoin that was once upon a time $60,000. What it's about is about how so many people have invested in this technology, and now it's half of what it should be. What it's about is understanding that when disruptive technologies come and change the very fabric of how we live and how we interact with each other, they don't just go away, okay? Social media isn't going to ever go away. Facebooks and Yahoos and all of these things are never going to go away. They're not. Twitter's not going to go away. It's just not. Not until something comes that's better than it is at what it does. Okay? Television. Okay? For years, it had, they had these shows and stuff. It's not going to go away. Cable came. That was a disruptive technology. And then here we go. Streaming technology came. That's a disruptive technology. It's not going away. It's a better way of doing it. Oh, by the way, Theta is sitting over there. It's a disruptive technology. Streaming from the blockchain. That's right. Netflix, look out and listen. Well, they'll probably be using it, okay? So we have to understand that when a new and better way of doing things emerges, it's not going to go away. The cat's out the bag. If it's better, faster, more efficient, or saves money, people are going to embrace it. And guess what? Blockchain technology is all of the above. It's faster, it's cleaner, and guess what? It's decentralized. It's not influenced by the government other than what they want to inflict on the people. So it is my belief, and of course this is not financial advice, it is my belief that just like in the war of the currents, the disruptive, more efficient, more capable technology will win. And when it does, the price of Bitcoin, the price of Ethereum, and all of the alternate coins out there is going to skyrocket beyond what people can possibly imagine. Imagine a world powered by digital currency. Imagine a world where data and information is stored digitally on blockchains instead of databases. Imagine a world where you'll be able to move money in matters of minutes instead of weeks because of blockchain technology. Imagine a world where it costs less to actually stream video. It's not coming, folks. It's already here. So to the Chinese government and to the American government, somebody needs to let them read about the war of the currents. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.